Go live. Go live. Go live.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yo.
What's up, you guys? Come on in the room. Come on in the room.
Uh-oh. You got problems.
I do have a few. What's up, you guys? Come on in. Come on in. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Want to share to the group?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, you guys? Come.
Oh. Well, mine not letting me share.
Okay. How are you guys doing today? Who do we have here today?
As y'all coming in the group, let us know who we have. Drop your name below and where you from.
I'm going to try to re-add it and see if
I'm trying to re-add it.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Yeah.
Because mine not letting me share. Yours, remember that?
Check your settings. Let's go. All right, we're in Ariat Dakota now. We are good.
All right, so we good to go.
Let's go.
Where you chatting?
How's everyone doing today? It's Thursday, y'all. Y'all ready? Today's Thursday. The weekend's almost here.
Ain't no fancy day for Thursday. You know, you got Hump Day Wednesday.
Hump Day Wednesday.
What's Thursday? The shit almost over.
No, terrific Thursday is what my mother would say. Terrific Thursday.
Oh man, it's almost over Thursday.
That's what my mother would say. Terrific Thursday.
All right. If you're watching, let us know where y'all from. If you're from Birmingham, drop Birmingham in there. If you from outside, Huntsville, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, let us know where y'all tuning in from. Talk to us.
Yasmin said it's Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday. That sounds like an alcoholic.
It could be water. You could be dehydrated.
All right. Got Birmingham in the building.
What's up? What's up, Mr. Davies? What's up, 101? What's up, Nikki?
I see you doing big things, Mr. Davis. Moving and grooving. I see you.
What's up, you guys?
All right, you going?
I wanted to do one thing before we start.
What you want to do?
What I just did. Davey said, appreciate it. All right.
Let's go. Let's get, man, make sure y'all asking Wyatt questions, man. He has a wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience in this real estate world. May I make sure y'all asking him questions?
Absolutely. So my name is Ashley Denmark.
My name is Antonio Denmark.
Because he just jumped right into it.
Jumped right into it.
Usually it's me. He just jumped right into it. We want to welcome you guys to our Fearless Investing Podcast. Today we have one of our good friends, Wyatt Reed, and I'm so excited to hear from Wyatt, to learn from him. But I'm more excited for you guys to hear from Wyatt and find out exactly what goes on in Wyatt's head. What kind of experiences does Wyatt have? What kind of success has Wyatt is what my brain was trying to say. Has Wyatt achieved, and what kind of fears did he have that helped him create that success? All right. So without further ado, I want to.
What happened to the time?
That's what I was getting ready to say. That to me.
You was going to say. I was
not. You guys, let's get it. Wyatt.
What's going on, guys? Dude, I'm so impressed by this. This is blowing my mind.
Thank you. So backstory, just quick backstory.
No, talk about it.
Man, she's been trying to do this for a couple of years, but I'm so cheap. I never wanted to buy the right equipment. So I didn't want to buy a mic. I didn't want to buy a camera. I didn't want to buy the right internet, but I got frustrated with all the bad ones we did and actually sucked it up. So that means a lot to me and her that you like it. So thank you very much.
No, my that intro, I've messed up on so many of them, and I finally got one that's really close to being decent. And he asked me this morning, "Did you do a longer countdown?" No, that's gonna take me an hour to do. I don't have that type of time. This is progress over perfection. We're gonna roll with this one for a few months.
Okay, that's a half story though. So we're listening to Billy Jean. I don't know if you ever heard of Billy Jean, marketing guy. And in one of his training, he says that you need to go live before it's time to go live. So I was like, hey, we just create a longer minute, a 5-minute, what you call it, countdown. That way that'll solve two problems. So,
but that's not what he didn't finish watching the training. That was half of the training. That's not what he said.
Trying to get to the goal, they missed the goal.
You're right.
That was not the training.
I do.
Boy. What's up, Wyatt? How you doing today, bud?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I can't complain about one thing.
That's good. So tell us, who is Wyatt?
Oh, that's a trick question. No, I am I'm a Christ follower. I'm a servant. I'm a father, a husband, coach, and real estate investor. That's a little bit of everything.
What part of real estate do you focus on?
So, man, we focus on seller financing for the most part. We do a little bit of everything, anything and everything, but our primary seller financing. We prefer cash flow, and that's just over the years. You guys know as well as I do. Like, I'm tired of chasing deals, man. I'd rather have cash flow coming in every single month. You know.
That's right.
Sweet.
And I want to go back a little bit because I know you asked
what you do.
But I want to go back a little bit. So, how long have you been investing in real estate, Wyatt?
I think it's almost been 5 years now, if not a little bit over. It doesn't seem like that long, but it feels like an eternity. I'm like almost going bald over here and getting gray, and like my back hurts.
Oh, no. What made you jump? What were you doing before real estate?
Yeah, so I was a manufacturing engineer at a couple of different factories, and I'll be honest. I got to the point to where I thought that I wanted to be in life at an early age. I think I was 24, 25 when I jumped into real estate, and at that point, I had made it to becoming an engineer. I had my house, and I had my car, and I had my family started, and like. I was like, well, what's next? I'm here. I thought I was gonna have to work my whole life to get here, and I'm here at 24, 25. Like, what do I do? And so that's when I took to the internet to find out how to make more money, right? YouTube.
And real estate was probably the first thing that popped up.
I seen Chris Crone driving that BMW i8. Had me locked. I wasn't about to spend money with him, but he had me thinking that real estate was it.
Real estate is it. That's what's up.
Absolutely.
So, Ashley asks about high school-ish. I want to go back farther than that.
Okay.
Tell me, what type of household did you grow up in? You grew up in a single parent, double parent household? Were they entrepreneurs? Were they 9 to 5? What was that like?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was in a two family household. My mom and dad had they had been passed down, or they had bought a barbecue business from my grandpa. My grandpa was a serial entrepreneur, wild west type guy. So he tried anything and everything. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I know he had several different like gas stations and restaurants and these things like that. And so they they took over the barbecue place, and that's where I grew up pretty much my entire life. And I seen that. But, you know, one thing that I did take away from it was I seen that they were in the business every single day, and they like broke their backs to make the living that they, you know, that they made. And it was a great living for us. You know, I never wanted or needed anything, you know, it was always there for me. So I was blessed in that, but I got to see that and grow up and realize that I do want to do this, but I don't want to be locked into that business forever. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think that's so important. I've noticed that a lot of successful investors, they didn't just become successful. Like it's the lineage. They either saw their parents, they saw their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, someone that was close to them was an entrepreneur. And that's kind of what planted planted the seed. Let me say that, not bug. Planted the seed that made them want to be an investor. For your granddad to be a serial entrepreneur, I think that's like major.
Super dope.
Like
super.
Yeah.
That is major.
That's one thing I regret not like spending time and talking with him about. I didn't have that head on me at that point. And so when I went to grandpa's, I was just doing whatever I wanted to do. Right. So I wish I could have had more time to talk to him about that and dive a little deeper into that, you know?
So I'm gonna give a nugget to all my listeners. That was even a nugget sound. When I get a nugget,
Nugget.
I don't know what does a nugget sound like? Ding, scribe. Okay, all right. I know I'm not. All right. So I went to a conference in Miami with him 500, and there's a guy named Wall Street Trapper that was talking on the stage. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time I had ever heard somebody say it. He said one of the things that made the Rockefellers, one of the things that made the Waltons, the people that have money and through generation and generations, is they have what they call a family SOP. And as you're going through your journey, you're creating a systems, policies, and procedures of what you're doing. So that when it's time for your following nieces, nephews to come behind you, they have your playbook. They understand what you did that worked. They understand what you did that didn't work. So once you're older and you can't remember all the things you did, you have it written down to where this is for our family only, and this is how we're going to keep wealth in our family from generation to generation.
Dude, I love that. 100%. 100%.
And now we haven't created that yet. We're still working on it. Mentally.
I think that's generational wealth, though. It's not leaving a bank account full of money to people who, you know, may or may not be able to grow it or lose it. You know, it's leaving that vault of wealth, of knowledge for those kids. I think that's generational wealth.
I think that's probably more important than money. A lot of people get generational wealth confused, and they say like, oh, I want to leave these houses for my kids. Your kids don't want your houses. Your kids don't want your businesses. They didn't even agree with you running the business, so they surely don't want the headache. But if you give them knowledge, you give them, okay, this is why we chose this option. This is the thought process that went behind it. This is how you think problems through. I think you can help them for generations to come, because at that point, it doesn't matter where they are on the spectrum. They can think through and analyze whatever that deal is, whether it's commercial, whether it's residential, whether it's businesses that they're selling, whatever. But they can analyze it because you've taught them how to think through that process.
All right. So my question is, what fears did you have going full time in real estate?
Wait, were you married before you went full time?
Oh, I hope Lauren's not watching this. I don't. Oh, why did you do that to me? Oh, now
I forgot. I'm so sorry.
No, we were not. Next question. No, we were married. Yeah, we were married. We were married whenever we done this. When I took the leap, and it did take us, I think, three or 4 months to make the decision. I tried to do it on my own for a little while, and I couldn't get anything to stick. So that's when I hired my first mentor, and that's what we had to take some time to think about, you know, because you gotta pay to play.
Pay to play.
What fears did you have? Like What was those conversations like?
Had to have a lot of fears.
Man, I didn't have my true fears until I got in. I'm one of those people that like, I'm going to jump and build the plane on the way down kind of guys. And so obviously Lauren was concerned about the money, but I was like, let's get it. There's got to be something better than this. Right. And so, yeah, when I got in, I started, man, it was really like, I had people hyping me up and telling me I was doing things that I mean, I was, but it was like, it seemed like half truths. And so for me, when I got to the point to where I could help other people, I had this, what do they call it? Like I was putting on a mask, like I was being fake, you know what I mean? Imposter syndrome. That was my biggest hurdle that I ever had to get over, was that imposter syndrome. And, I think you know him, Steve Kavanaugh. He was my second mentor, and he really like sat me down and just like told me, he was like, dude, you know, you're doing it. You're doing more than most others. I had him and one girl from St. Louis that I met, and they said essentially the same thing. They were like, you're doing more right now than most people ever do in a lifetime. So you've got to get over this fear. Like, you are doing great, right?
Hold up, Wyatt. You have multiple mentors?
Oh yeah, man. Absolutely. 100%.
Why would you have, why?
Man, you got to be in the room with people that are smarter than you. And for me, it's at different levels, you know, like when I needed to understand how to get in, like I needed somebody to teach me the basics. After that, I needed somebody to teach me how to level up. And so I got with that. And then I was like, then I'm looking at multiple businesses. Now I need a mentor for this business. And you know, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. Like it'd take me 10, 15 years to figure this out on my own, where it took me 5 years to start and grow two very, very successful businesses with 3 to 4 mentors, you know?
Love it. That's the cheat code. Cheat code is mentors. And I know we're not programmed to do that. We go to school for free in public education a lot of times, and paying for education is not something that we are taught. Accustomed to.
Yeah.
But once you start doing it, and you got to commit to it too. You got to commit to whatever that coach is teaching you. You got to dive into it and you got to commit to it.
Yeah.
Things will change at a rapid pace for you, but you got to have multiple mentors for different levels of the success you want.
Absolutely. So when you guys were deciding, okay, did you quit your job?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I was probably a year and a half in before I quit my job.
Okay.
Yeah, it took me a while. I got fired from my job, and that pushed me to do it. And so, just to back up a little bit, once I hired that mentor, I had bought several rental properties, like a handful of rental properties, and I started getting into flips. I had a successful flip, and at that point, I said, hey, I'm going to quit my job. So I set it up to where I was going to put my 2 weeks notice in on my birthday. And I think 2 or 3 weeks out from when I was going to do it, they called us up, COVID hit, right? And they were like, hey, we're going to have to let you go. We're letting a lot of people go due to COVID, and, you know, but we got a severance package for you. So if I would have just quit, I would have got
the severance package.
I said, well, let me sign this thing. So
that was right on time.
I was
sign up.
Wow.
When you told your parents that you was going to go full time, what was their reaction?
Oh, man, it's so crazy to think, because their entrepreneurial mindset, but they told me I was crazy. They were like, you need to go get you. I was an engineer. I was the first one to go through college and get a big boy job, right? And they said I was crazy, and I still don't think they understand what I do, but they don't say I'm as crazy anymore, especially when I take them out to eat and stuff.
I think it's a process. Someone said it sounds familiar. Absolutely. I think it's a process where they knew you had a family. And I think that's what they were scared of the most. Like, you probably had a great paying job.
Mm-hmm.
And in America's eyes, that's the ultimate freedom. You got a good job, you got benefits, you got basically the American dream. You got your house, you got your family, you got a great job. Like, why would you do real estate full time when you have everything you need?
It's a scam, and it's one of the biggest scams, right? And I had a friend who taught me back then in engineering, and I legitimately told him, like, one of the things that pushed me into looking further in, because he was a much older man than me, and I love him with all my heart. I'll do anything for him. But I told him, I was like, your life scares me. Like, you're 70 years old and you're still working in a factory. And like, when COVID hit, his retirement got jacked up, and I'm like, that terrifies me. Like, absolutely terrifies me. So that was a big part of it.
Wow. I will say that it is so important to get around the right people, to have the right circles, to have people that's feeding you life, to have people that's feeding you motivation, because I can only imagine you listening to your parents and not doing it. Like, how miserable of a life would that have been compared to the successes you have had, the people you've helped along this journey?
Touched. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Because when we went to your mastermind, when was that? Was that last year, April?
I think it may have been a little bit further back than that. I don't remember. That one was in Huntsville, though.
It was in Huntsville. Yep. I'm still trying to go back to that hotel.
Oh, it's nice. It was
because
nice.
of the scene outside. We were supposed to go to Huntsville. We were debating between Atlanta and Huntsville. Apparently, Atlanta is what flew his boat during spring break. We just got in the car and went and booked the hotel room while we were literally driving. But I was like, if we go to Huntsville, we're going right back to the place that Wyatt had his mastermind, because there's so much to do in that area, and the kids will have a ball. And it was a chocolate place that was really good that I liked.
Okay, so
the conference there this year too. It's such a nice place.
Yeah, it is. It was nice. It was nice. So our audience, a lot of our people are newbies. They've never done a deal. They're thinking about doing a deal. They're tipping their toes in. They're trying to get information. We say seller financing because we understand that term. Right. In a elementary form, break down what is seller financing, the strategy.
Yeah. So, usually on a normal deal, you would buy a house and then rent it out to somebody, right? And they're getting that market. You're getting that market rent in every month. You're a landlord now, so you've got to worry about the tenants destroying your home. You got to worry about, things that come up. You're paying insurance and taxes, and for a water heater busts down, you've got to deal with all that because you're the owner, you're the landlord, right? So what we've figured out over time is that we can essentially take the role of the bank, and instead of putting a tenant in there, we can put a tenant buyer. So we sell it to a tenant buyer over a long amount of time, right? Over 20, 30 years. So essentially it just looked like you guys buying a normal house. You come with a down payment, you make mortgage payments to us, monthly payments to us, principal and interest. You cover the insurance, the taxes. It's your house. You're buying it, right? And so that takes that responsibility off of us as landlords, but it still continues to give us the cash flow every single month. So it's the same rewards, if not more, without all of the hardships of being a landlord. That probably was not elementary, but I tried my best.
No, I think that was
good. That was good. We love seller financing. We've done a few seller financing deals ourselves, and a lot of times people ask us, do we rent properties? We do not rent properties. And not saying nothing is wrong with renting properties. That's just not our forte.
Our strategy.
We will either seller finance it or lease option it to somebody. Yeah. So, and that's just our model. That's where the numbers work best for us. That fits our lifestyle. we don't necessarily want the Section 8 rental or long-term rental. If we can seller finance it, we're going to seller finance it. Literally, we're talking about doing a seller finance deal on a $200,000 house and getting $50,000 down. So those are the things that we like to do, not just necessarily rent.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you make more money. There's less from you, like Wyatt said, as landlord. Like if winter comes and they decided that they didn't want to let the pipes drip, well, guess what? That's not you, because you're not the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
Or their kids threw a ball in the back window and now the back window's broke. That's not you.
Totally agree. All
right. So fast forward 5 years. Is your wife full-time or is she still working?
She's a full-time mom. So she quit her job not long ago. And so she helps me manage the tenant buyers. She helps me manage some of the flips. She's got more of a managerial role, so she can work 2 to 3 days a week and still be super flexible with the kids and everything like that. So, yep, 100%.
It's so important because obviously, Wyatt, you're a visionary, and she's the integrator, and there is no there is no business without an integrator, because the visionary has all these dreams, has these outlandish ideas, but somebody has to put it into action. And I didn't know that about your wife, but just looking at your progress, looking at your structure, I can definitely see she's doing her thing.
Pulls me back quite a bit. She puts me down, that's for sure.
Yes. I lost my thought, Ashley.
Okay.
That's what I heard you drop the word flipping there a few times. So what's your deal ratio like? How many flips to seller financing deals are you doing on a percentage basis?
I would say, as of what I've got going on right now, we're about half and half. So I've got 2 flips that just hit the market now. We're buying seller finance deals like one to 2 a month, and we're also wholesaling as well. So I would say it's about half and half. But I'll tell you this: like, the cash flow at this point has gotten to where I don't take on. Thanks, Casey. I don't take on what I don't want to take on anymore. Like, I'm not taking on no flips that are crazy. Like, my last 2 flips that just hit the market, they took a month to rehab, and paint, flooring, light fixtures. That's it. I'm not doing anything crazy, right? If I can just clean it and put it on the MLS, I'll do that. But I ain't doing no crazy stuff anymore. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
That's so important, because most people are like, oh, if I'm not taking it down to the studs, I don't want to do it. Honestly, I don't want to take it down to the studs either.
You have them studs. That's
more risk, more liability. Things are going to happen. There's things you didn't see. And when it gets down to those studs, you see everything. Yep. And sometimes it's too late.
With the seller finance deals, you can get that amount of capital that you'd be making on the flip as a down payment and still get cash flow, and you don't have to even touch the house. So that's why we love seller financing.
Got the mic on that one.
Right.
If I have someone that is afraid to start real estate, I talked to a guy today. He's been thinking about doing real estate for 5 years. He has money, he has credit, and he's just afraid. What would you tell someone that's watching, that's in that same category, that's on the fence about doing it, but they just have not took that step to do it yet?
Yeah, man. I used to be a whole lot more pushy than I am now. I used to just say, well, hey, you're never going to do, you got to take a risk. You got to jump. Like, you got to do it. That's what we all had to do. Like, but now I take it from exactly what you said. Like, 10 years from now, if you don't do this and you still do whatever you're doing now, are you going to be happy? Like, are you going to be happy with the life that you live? And, 10 years from now, you're going to be saying the same thing, man. I wish I would have started. I could have bought that house for $30,000, but I was just too scared to do it. So are you going to be happy with that decision that you make, in the long term? So,
man,
absolutely,
that's
absolutely.
perfect. I mean, you can't even say it any better than that. I talked to a lady before the call, and she's been dabbling in real estate, and she actually kind of started taking a step. She got a property under contract. She almost had the finance and met some contractors, but she got back nervous.
mm-hmm.
So understand that having fear is a part of real estate. Having fear is a part of anything that you do. You just got to understand that the more information you have, the less fear you have. So you got to make sure you're getting as much information, taking action on that information. Mm-hmm. That lowers your fear. Mm-hmm. All right. All of us were scared at one point in time.
And some of us are still scared for different things. Like the more you do, the more success you have, the different levels you're going to try to reach. And guess what? Those levels come with fear too.
Agree. So I won't say I had a fear when I bought my first property. I was young, and the rest of the words that go with it. Mm-hmm. And now I was afraid when I bought my first flip. When I bought my first flip, that total project was like $100,000 project. And I will say I had some fears when I did that. But I had coaching, I had education, I had training, I had people that I could lean on, that if I had questions that I could go to, and I got through it.
Now, did we make all the money that we thought we were going to make on it?
No.
Never.
Because it just doesn't line up sometimes.
No. It always looks better on paper, right?
It always looks better on paper.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we in my profession don't make it no better, because we'll show these $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 checks, and they don't be nothing but your down payment money back, or your interest payments. Oh, I just made $50,000. How much of that you just really made? How much was that net? Not just your down payment, not those interest payments you paid every month, not that over budget $10,000, not your holding costs. How much did you truly make?
Yep,
and I think that if you really start asking a lot of flippers that true question, you'll find out that they're not really making what you think they're making.
Yeah. I mean, you ask any flipper, I would say most even flippers hate flipping. They just do it because it's what they know. They love it. Like a lot of them are ex-contractors, or they are contractors, and like that's a whole nother story. Then they don't know how to let go of doing the project themselves. So I hate flips. I will openly say that, and I tell everybody that. The only flips I do are very, very light that I can get in and out of. And so
I love flips.
Listen,
that's ex-flipper.
Absolutely.
I got one more question to ask.
Okay. Question?
I'll let you get your question before I get my question.
Go get your question in first.
If you guys got questions for Wyatt, make sure you drop them in the chat so that he can see them, whether it's real estate related, deal related. How do you find most of your deals, Wyatt? That wasn't my last question, though.
Okay.
Yeah, postcards. That's my number one lead source, is postcards. It was one of the last things that I handed over as I was like scaling out of the business, and like the data. I was an engineer, so I was like, I love intriguing. And so that was one of the last things that I had to let go of to let other people handle, right? And so that was a struggle for me. But yeah, I always tell people though, even if you're doing paid marketing, you should also do free marketing because it's free. Like network with folks, wholesalers. I mean, I still get deals from wholesalers too. So if you're new, like you need to be networking with 60, 70 wholesalers, like getting them to send you stuff every single week, bugging the crap out of them. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Is that what it is? So
that is.
That's it right there. That's perfect. From a cost standpoint, roughly, not detailed to the penny, roughly how much are you spending on postcards per month, and roughly that nets you how many contracts?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is not going to sound super grand because honestly, in the last 5 years, I've hustled my butt off, and built. And so we've been up to like $15,000-$20,000 a month in marketing. I'll tell you right now, we're probably less than $5,000 a month right now. We'll
Sweet
probably,
spot.
yeah, and it may be even less than that, because I've just gotten to this point to where I'm happy. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm being able to hang out with my friends, do discipleship, go on mission trips 2 or 3 times a year out of the country. Like, I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm able to help other people get into it as well. So we've got 3 contracts right now. Those will be wholesale deals. We'll probably make around 50 gross on that. And then the seller finance deals, I plan on contracting at least one in the next couple of days. So we're still negotiating. I believe. So I'll just say we walked like 7 properties last Thursday. We got 3 of those under contract. We're negotiating with 2 right now. So I'm confident we'll have 5 by the end of the month. And I done very, 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 very little on all of that. So it's not grand. It's not crazy. It's not like 100 deals a month, but I've been there, I've done that, and I was not happy. So I'm where I want to be.
A lot of times we think that we are searching for money. I need money. I need money. I need money.
More money.
That's not true. You need freedom.
You need freedom.
And once you achieve freedom, money just kind of follows suit, and it's all about you and what you want. Yeah. So I would prefer freedom over money.
And we would have that debate a lot. I would do like, we need more projects. No, if we're not buying a flip a month, then we have a problem. And it became a problem because we were buying so much, because I couldn't say no to it. Mm-hmm. So no, you got to find what that balance is. Sometimes more is not better. It looks good to everyone else, but it's not better, because do you have the infrastructure to support that more? Like,
I think that always is in the back of my head, and I'm always like fighting against it, because I'm truly happy with what I've got going on right now. But I always know I can do way more. I can scale. I talked to somebody. I was talking to somebody at the last mastermind we did, and we were just kind of going through his machine that he had built, and they're doing all these deals and this, that, and the other. And it was, as a newbie, like there were some newbies like sitting around and listening to it, and you could just tell they were like soaking it up and so amazed. And for me, like I got it, I understood it. I was like, dude, I had some of these same systems and processes. I could hit that light switch tomorrow, and we could be rock and rolling again. And it's like, that is something I'm always fighting against, is because I know how miserable I was when I was doing stuff like that, So
my last question leads kind of into what you were just saying, as far as how many deals to do, when to go, when to slow down. What advice would you give to anyone that's working with a partner, let alone that's working with their wife or significant other?
That's good. So we'll handle the spouse thing first. Honestly, and she knows this, I never wanted Lauren to be in the business. For me, I always wanted to scale out of the business. And why in the world would I put my wife in the business that I was trying to scale out of to spend time with her? And just like in the cluster and clutter of the craziness of us building this machine and going, crazy, she ended up being a part of it. And so, obviously boundaries, and I'm not the guy that likes to come home and talk about work. I solve not only my problems, but I solve everybody else's problems all day long. So I don't want to come home and have to talk about that stuff. And I just want to be able to shut off. And that's, it's a sad part about it. And a lot of times, like when you're in that hustle season, our spouses get the absolute worst of us, Mm-hmm. And so I guess that was a lucky part of her coming in and seeing that, was because she got to see it, you know, and she got to understand that. And, you know, it made me grow because I have to become, and I still have to become a better communicator. Right. So it pushes me. So, eventually we'll both, I'll hire an executive assistant. We'll both be out, and, you know, that'll be it. But as of right now, neither one of us are doing a whole lot. And we're happy with that. And as far as a partner, man, I'm blessed to have such a good partner. You know, you guys know John.
Yeah.
Dude, John's like John's the foot that, you know, when he steps, like that's what we're doing, right? And so I'm more of the relational, like I don't want to I hate having hard conversations. So we really meshed very well, because I was able to, you know, build rapport and you know, bring in people, and he was able to say, hey, now this is how it's going to be, right? And like, if you're thinking about doing a partnership, like, don't just do it with anybody. You've got to treat it like a marriage. Like we were having monthly partner meetings. Like we were always together, so we knew how each other was doing, and we knew what each other was doing. But every month we would sit down and we would say we would get away from everybody. It would just be me and him, and it would be first question is, how are you? How do you feel about what's going on? How do you feel about me? Is there anything that we need to talk about? Right. And like, I think people go into partnerships so fast because they don't want to do something specific. And I've seen that before, but they don't treat it like they should. You got to have hard conversations before you have to have hard conversations. I think that's a Tom Kroll, right?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. That's
right.
it.
I think that was so
good.
right there.
That was gold right there. Whenever I get my nugget sound,
Oh goodness.
see, look, y'all, I bought this little thing right here, and I supposed to have some buttons I can press and make some noises, but we ain't connected this yet.
That was never for him. It was for me. Never.
Zach asked a question. He says, "What company do you use for marketing?"
Yeah, so we used to use, for me and my business partner, we used to use REI Dads. That's still a company, but we've gotten to where, like I said, we have pulled back very, very hard on the flips, on the wholesale deals. Like that's not where we're at anymore. We're at you know, cash flow. So essentially, we had our REI Dads. That was our big, you know, marketing company. That's we bring leads in, and then we would do whatever makes the most sense. So if we wanted to flip or wholesale, we'd do it in REI Dads. But we have also JW Empire, which is our holding company. We've got like 140 doors in that. And so since we've gotten to where we want to be, we've pulled back, and now we'll keep putting like a house or two in JW, but now we're putting them in our own individual properties as well, and just pitching an assignment fee to the business to keep the marketing going. Right. So it's just really up to you how you want to do it. But that's, over the years, that's what we found to be the best. And, you know, if we pitch a rental property in there, a seller finance deal, you know, that's awesome. If he's got too many going on right now, like he'll have 3 or 4 going, and I want it, then I'll pitch him an assignment fee. If, you know, vice versa, or if we both got too much going on, we'll throw it in JW and let that company take over. So we have different portfolios, right?
Absolutely. Wyatt, Ella Birdie told me you're coming to REI Live next week.
I'll be there. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
What you gonna teach the people at REI Live? Like, what you gonna teach us? Because I'm a student too, right. So I'm listening.
We're gonna talk about how to get your first seller finance deal in 90 days. And so they're quicker. I want to get it to you in 60 days. So let's go. Y'all bring your notepads and your pens, and like, if you take massive imperfect action on what we teach at REI Live, you will have your first deal very, very quickly. I can promise you that.
Let's go. You guys make sure You are at REI Live next week, April 16th, next week, Tuesday. Wyatt is going to be, listen, he just told you what he's going to do. So don't ask, am I recording it? Be there. Don't let your 60 days start 6 months.
And this is in person. This is not virtual. This is in person. You can touch Wyatt. You can touch us. So make sure you get in the room with some like-minded people.
Absolutely. Vulcan Park and Museum. Doors open at 5:30. The event starts at 6. Make sure your face is in the place. Okay.
All
right. Wyatt, if our audience wanted to reach you, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Yeah,
before REI Live.
Yeah, 100%. So you can just find me on Facebook, Wyatt Reed. I'm the only Wyatt Reed with the red beard. I hope. Anyways,
you're gonna make me look it up.
I've got a link tree to everything we got. Like we've got a podcast too that you guys are definitely going to be on, and we've got anything and everything real estate. So just I'll give you guys my link tree if you want to, or I'll put it in the comments, and we can go from there.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
Casey said she'll definitely be there.
Casey's everywhere.
Casey's everywhere. Can't wait to see you, Casey. Absolutely.
Yeah, Casey's a grinder, baby.
Yes.
I love him.
So we want to get out of here. We want to thank you for coming and doing this Fearless Investor podcast with us. I know it's going to touch some people. I know that some people are going to get blessed.
Mm-hmm.
And one last question before I close it out.
Okay.
All right. I said that already?
You probably did.
It don't matter. All right. What would you say has been your biggest obstacle when it comes to being an entrepreneur? Personally, what has Wyatt had to overcome, or is still overcoming?
Yeah, man, I think it's ourselves. I'm not trying to get deep on you or anything like that, but I see new people, and it's something that I dealt with too, but I always see new people getting inside their own head, being their worst enemy, always going to worst case. And that's an obstacle I think we all have to overcome. And some of us overcome it faster than others, but man, you can't be negative. Like you can't think of just continually thinking of negative things. Like you've got to be positive. You've got to be a quick problem solver. Above all, we're problem solvers. And so you got to be able to do that quick and get out of your own way.
There it is.
Absolutely.
Time to get out of here. You can close us out, Miss Denmark.
Absolutely. We love you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you again, Wyatt, for Fearless Investing Podcast. I can't wait to see you soon.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Peace.